Thank you. The time is now 7 p.m. I'd like to call to order the regular City Council meeting, Tuesday, July 12th, 2022, at City Hall. If we could all please rise for the invocation given from Councilman Curley.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we would ask that you would be with each one of us tonight, that the decisions we make are not for ourselves, but for our community, our beautiful Eastpointe. And Lord, let us not forget those who are walking our streets, not only here in Eastpointe, but throughout the entire country, who are homeless, who are cold, and who are hungry. Let that be our objective, Lord. Let that be our objective, to find those who are hungry, find those who are homeless, and do what we can do to eliminate all of those things. We ask all these things in your Son's holy name, Jesus, the living Christ. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first order of business this evening is we have a proclamation for Chaplain Appreciation Month. So if everyone would like to head down to the podium.
This is a proclamation recognizing July 2022 as Chaplain Appreciation Month in the city of Eastpointe. Whereas chaplains play an essential role with prayer, spirituality, positivity, resources, assistance, and support in public safety, critical incidents, national, state, or local emergencies, disaster response, faith-based organizations, businesses, government, civic, civil, and community organizations, educational institutions, and other organizations. And whereas the service and assistance of chaplains today requires advanced knowledge, experience, training, and expertise in public safety, critical incident stress management, post-traumatic stress disorder, governmental procedures, spiritual-based operations, conflict resolution, cultural diversity, organized structure, protocol, procedures, and etiquette, interpersonal communications, counseling, and business. And whereas the chaplains of the city of Eastpointe have faced unique challenges since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the role of chaplain during the pandemic expanded even further. They have done an exceptional job providing caring support for our community, which is blessed to have caring chaplains who provide compassionate and personal service to our citizens at all times, especially during the pandemic. And whereas Chaplain Appreciation Month is encouraged to be observed annually in workplaces, government, public safety departments, businesses, organizations, and institutions around the world to recognize the important contributions of service chaplains. And whereas Chaplain Appreciation Month celebrates, appreciates, and recognizes all service chaplains by reflecting on how their professionalism, dedication, inspiration, experience, and support as a whole through an unselfish commitment to their chaplain careers while improving and expanding their skills and knowledge is, and will continue to be a vital asset to any and all organizations. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the City Council of the City of Eastpointe, declare the month of July 2022 2022 as Chaplain Appreciation Month, proclaim this 12th day of July 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Councilman Baker. Our chaplains here in the city play a vital role. They not only support our police and fire, but they also support a lot of our residents. They've always supported city council. They go above and beyond in our community, and they are not just, they do a lot. They really do a lot. So they are very, very appreciated. If we can move on to item 1, and that would be roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido,
Yes, here.
Councilmember Curley,
Here.
Councilmember Baker.
Here.
Moving on to item 2, approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
Yes. Next item is the hearing of the public. You'll be given 3 minutes if you wish to speak at this time.
My name is Pamela Russell, and I'm here on behalf of my daughter. She's a 32-year-old homeowner in Eastpointe. Oh, I'm sorry.
Pam, I'm sorry, can you just move the microphone down a little bit so we can hear you
Okay.
better? Perfect.
Gotcha.
All right, thank you.
My name is Pam Russell, and I'm here on behalf of my daughter. She's a 32-year-old homeowner of Eastpointe for the last 4 years. On July 3rd, there was an incident that she was driving down Wilson Street. I'm not going to mention the gentleman's name because I'm sure I was told that he's very known to be a nuisance in the neighborhood. Well, we're talking about a 32-year-old daughter. They was coming down the street, and road rage is very prevalent. It's crazy out here. So, of course, she was scared. He wouldn't move, she wouldn't move. Okay, fine. He proceeded to get out of the car, and she started filming. He called her a black bee. He started harassing her. Now, what do you think she's doing now? She's on the phone calling me because she's afraid. So you can't hear it, but you could see him, what she was filming. And so I said, listen, just don't move. Now she can't back up because there's another car behind her. You could see him harassing the whole neighborhood. It was another African-American lady. He went down the street harassing her, kids, everything. So that day we was having a huge 4th of July party. So when she came back, I said, listen, don't say anything to the family because you know how that can go. It just wouldn't look good. So I said, tomorrow we're going to go to the police station, which she did. And so when she proceeded to give her name, show them the tape, it was kind of, she said, taken kind of lightly, like, nothing is really going to happen. Come of this, we know of him. We really can't, catch him or anything. He even told us if we take off our uniform, he'll beat us up. Well, see, the problem that I have with that is that my daughter, of course, since she left feeling very defeated, because we think the police department is going to protect us, and they should have. I don't know what would have came of it, but she did take it to social media. He came and tagged along there. So she's at the beach thinking, okay, I'm going to let this go. On July 4th, the police department gave her a call. Now, she complaining and said, Ms. Russell, is it possible you could take this down? Now, mind you, this gentleman had already told her on social media, the police is coming. He named names. He gave us the phone number that the police department was going to call from, and they did. They said, Ms. Russell, is it possible you could just remove your post? Now, I don't know if that's legal, but how do you think that make her feel, or us? Then we proceeded to see who this man was. The comments was ridiculous. White, black, saying how he was just, kind of crazy out of his mind. What happened to the flagging of these type of people? Then we looked on Instagram. He has a badge that says he's a junior police of Eastpointe, Michigan. So now, my heart was really crying for my daughter. Because if he is, did he have a gun? Could that have escalated? So I don't know what's going to happen. We went to the police, nothing happened. I love my Eastpointe Police Department. I've been here for 16 years. But we talk about my daughter. And the way that they were saying he's a nuisance, he had on the T-shirt, and they were saying, listen, he don't work for me. Please, remove our logo. And when you go by his house, there's nothing but cameras and stuff. So I'm thinking, did he have that much right to call the police, and then they reversed it to my daughter when she was the victim? So I don't know what to do. I said, listen, I'm just going to take the right steps as a mother. I'm bringing it to the city council. We took it to the police. I don't want this man hurt. He showed us his, I'm sorry.
Your time is up.
I know,
But
I'm
if you
sorry.
could just give your information to Ms. Holman, and we'll make sure that the city manager follows up with this with the police department, and she'll get back to you.
Thank you so much for even listening.
Does anyone else wish to be heard?
Good evening. My name is Wanda Moody. I really don't have too much to say because Ms. Russell said everything, but I do want to also share my concern as well as an Eastpointe resident, because I saw that on social media as well. And as she stated, there is so much road rage that is happening nowadays, but the last thing we need is to have community rage. And because something of that magnitude could have just been escalated to where there was no control of the situation. Whenever we have a community as small as Eastpointe, and we're living on the auspices that we are a family community, we should not be subjected to racial intimidation. And that is just totally unacceptable. And what we, as the citizens of Eastpointe, we are depending upon our law officers to take it to another level. Because when this young lady went into the police department, under no means should they have not addressed her issue. Because if I were to walk into the police department and say, there's a dog in my neighbor's yard, and this dog is doing whatever, they would make a report. They would literally write up a report. So when a person walk in there, a human walk in there and say that I'm feeling threatened, the least that could have been done is a report taken, and our law enforcers followed up on that, because that's what they're paid for, and we expect protection. And with that being said, if someone could just explain to me, how could it happen? How could something like that happen? And we should not be intimidated and be badgered by another member of our community, because even though he did that and what he did was not acceptable, he's still a member of our community, and we want the best for everyone. So that's just my take on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard at this time?
Karen Morage, an Eastpointe resident. So my comments first start off with what is going on at the national level and how it affects every single one of us. Since our last meeting, SCOTUS, completely lost their mind. You had conservative justices who decided that they didn't really care about being neutral. They politicized themselves. They violated everyone's First Amendment rights in regards to freedom of religion, because what they did is they took their religious beliefs and shoved it down every woman's throat. Freedom of religion under the First Amendment covers all religions and even lack thereof. It's really disturbing that as women, we've been reduced to now second-class citizens, that the government is going to tell us what we can and cannot do with our bodies, and that they're going to interfere with our decisions that we make with our doctors. And for those who think, well, you know what, I don't care, it doesn't apply to me, there are more fundamental rights that are on the chopping block. Justice Thomas already blew the dog whistle and said contraception is next. And then what's going to come after that? Well, we're looking at interracial marriage, which that's going to be interesting since his wife is white. Same-sex marriage, voting rights, and it's just, you know, a slippery slope, buckle up, here we go. I am happy to say that the petition for reproductive freedom for all garnered over 750,000 signatures to go on this November's ballot, which I'm sure, I'm confident that's going to pass in Michigan to get rid of that miserable 1931 law that would ban abortion and criminalize it. Of our Tri-County prosecutors, you know, we have Prosecutor Worthy and Prosecutor McDonald saying, no, I would not criminalize abortion under this law. You know, Governor Whitmer has come out against it. Attorney General Nussel has come out against it.
Ms. Morizian, your 3 minutes is up.
Okay, I had more, but I'll stop.
You will have another chance at the end of the meeting for another 3 minutes. I'd like to stick around. Is there anyone else who would like to be heard during this hearing of the public? With that said, we'll close the hearing of the public and move on to approval of the minutes.
Madam Mayor, I would move to receive and file the minutes from the regular meeting of June 21st, 2022, and the minutes from the special meeting of June 23rd, 2022.
I second that.
Motion and support. Can we please call the roll?
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
Yes. Okay, moving on. We have no scheduled hearings and no unfinished business. So we'll move on for reports from administration, starting with our city manager, Ms. Wolf.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. First, I'd like to highlight GFL. We have had some significant delays in service from GFL in collecting trash and recycling in the community. Please keep your bins out. They are working overtime. We'll have 3 additional trucks starting tomorrow to come out, and we're hoping that everything is updated as of Saturday. So keep your bins out. They will be out all week, and they will be collecting trash and working overtime and bringing additional trucks in to catch up. Second, I'd like to highlight the concert in the park. We have Mr. Joe Marucci here, who's worked with the Parks Commission and City Council in getting an event scheduled in the parks, actually at Spindler Sledding Hill. It's next Wednesday, July 20th at 7 p.m. They have Motown music. The Prolifics will be in, and I know he's been working really diligently about having some food trucks available, so it should be a very fun community-centered event for everyone to join in on. And then also just a reminder to register to vote. We have a primary election coming up on August 2nd. You can stop by our clerk's office to register. We also have some information online that you can register to vote, get an absentee ballot, or if you have questions about the election or that process, our clerks are certainly available to help out. Other than that, I can take any questions that Mayor Pro Tem or Council may have.
Council have any questions? All right, we'll move on to a report from our finance director, Mr. Blum.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. The only thing I had was I was on a MML video conference talking about the upcoming state budget. There will be some infrastructure, road money and water, sewer, and all that. But the big one, from our perspective, is they created a $750 million fund for cities that are under 60% funded on their pension. And there will be some strings attached, but nothing too egregious. We will be able to apply for that, and if we got the full amount to bring us to 60%, that would be a little bit more than $6 million that we could get that would go right into the pension. We're waiting on rules and applications and all that, but the budget doesn't start till October 1st. So they've got a little bit of time to work it out, but it was talked about and they actually did it. So very happy to hear that one.
Thank you. Look at that guy. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Blow? And we'll move on to reports from our city attorney, Mr. Albright.
Thank
Down
you.
there.
Way down here, I know. Hi, everybody, way over there. Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. Short report section this evening. The council's in receipt of our monthly status report for the month of July. I'm happy to answer questions regarding that or any other questions the council may have. Thank you.
Council have any questions? All right. Moving on to new business, and we'll start with item A, adoption of resolution number 22-1945.
Madam Mayor, I would move to adopt resolution number 22-1945 to tentatively award the contract for the construction of the proposed water system improvements to Deponio Contracting Incorporated, contingent upon the successful financial arrangements with the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Program.
Second.
Motion and support, please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
Yes. Moving on to item B, approval of third-party general liability insurance.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move that we award and authorize the execution of an agreement with the Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority to administer and provide excess liability insurance coverage for the city's self-insured program for the period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023, and authorize the city necessary contribution to its loss fund with the total cost of services, insurance, and contributions to be $573,944.
Support.
Motion and support, please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
Yes. All right, moving on to item C, the bid award for park fencing improvements.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I would move to award the bid for the park fencing improvements known as AEW project number 0145-0658 for removal and replacement of fencing at Memorial, Kennedy, and Roxana Parks to the low bidder, Nationwide Construction Group of Richmond, Michigan, for the base bid amount of $85,506 plus a 10% contingency fund of $8,551 for a total estimated cost of $94,057.
I'll second that.
Thanks.
Motion and support, please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
Yes. Moving on to item D, approval of dedicated senior medical center special event.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, I move that we approve the dedicated senior medical center special event.
I would support that.
Motion and support, please call the roll.
But
Council-
Madam Mayor, if I may, the date for that event is Friday, August 5th, from noon to 3 o'clock. So if you want to write down on your calendar that August 5th, noon to 3. Thank you.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
Yes. All right, moving on to item E, appointment to the Assessment Board of Review.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move that we appoint Stephanie, I don't know if that's Swerkos, to the Assessment Board of Review as an alternate with a term to expire March 15th, 2024.
Support.
That's motion and support. Can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
Yes. Moving on to item F, the zoning ordinance update.
Madam Mayor, I would move to receive and file progress memo number 2 and number 3 for the zoning ordinance update.
Second.
Motion and support, please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
Yes. Moving on to payroll and bills.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem, I move that we pay all the bills in the amount of $3,236,419.30.
Support.
Motion and support, please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
Yes. All right, we'll move on to the second hearing of the public. If anyone wishes to be heard at this time, you please come to the podium. You will have 3 minutes.
Pastor, Chaplain, Albert Rush. I'm sorry. I live in the city of Eastpointe. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, somewhere around there. I just want to say a word of thanks on behalf of the chaplain service, myself, Chaplain Albert Rush, Chaplain Marcellus Mays, Chaplain Kevin Lancaster, and our supervising chaplain, James Friedman, for the appreciation. We do not do it for appreciation. We do it to be of service to our communities. I've lived here for 10 years, so I'm really excited to be of service in any way possible. And we thank you for the opportunity allowing us to serve, and we thank our police officers for allowing us to be a part of what they do and to be very helpful in any way that we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to be heard at this time?
So my conclusion was our county prosecutor has said that he would prosecute, and that is just so outrageously offensive. Now he's finding himself under controversy once again, and it just doesn't surprise me whatsoever. He didn't learn from when he was in the Senate. This just violates so many of our rights, our 14th Amendment rights. There's a lot of argument back and forth whether it's a constitutional right, a fundamental right, so on and so forth, goes back and forth. The thing is that it destroys our autonomy as women. And even if women are beyond the childbearing age, we're daughters or mothers or sisters or grandmothers, nieces, cousins, friends. What in the world is going on? We're the richest country in the world. We're a superpower, and we're going to force women to have babies they don't want, or that it's going to put the mother's life in danger, or a woman or a young girl has been raped. This is not okay. And it's a really disturbing parallel, but this is what factory farms do to dairy cows. They impregnate these poor cows their entire lives, forcing these cows to just crank out babies left and right. And then the thing is when the dairy cows are no longer able to produce milk, they're sent to slaughter. And they become hamburger. Is that our next step, or are we going to go way beyond 1984? It's so dangerous. It's so absolutely disturbing. And so, yeah, it's critical that we all get out there and vote this November, that we send the message loud and clear back to SCOTUS and to elected officials who think it's okay to tell us what we can and cannot do with our bodies. It's like, no, you don't strip us of our rights like that. And we're not going to stand for it, Last thing I want to add in real quick, shifting to the animals. Please do not give up your animals. If you got them during COVID, reach out to agencies if you're having problems feeding them or vet bills. Help is available. Please do not abandon them. They don't abandon you. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to be heard at this time? Moving on to mayor and council reports, and we'll start this.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The only thing I want to say tonight, and you've heard this phrase before, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you. We'll move on to Councilman Baker.
Thank you. To those that came out and expressed their feelings and their experience with what happened to the incident in the community, I'm sorry to hear about that. And I just want to encourage all of us to continue to strive for open communication with those that are here to protect and serve our community, our police, our fire, when we need help and when there's an incident. Let's strive to keep that communication open, and let's also strive to keep that communication with one another in this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Baker. Yeah, first of all, I'd like to address really quick, Ms. Russell and Ms. Boyd. I do take your concerns seriously, and I will be sure that it's looked into, because no one, especially a young woman, should not have to feel like they're not being protected by our police department. So I hope that we can look into this and get the issue resolved. And also, I would like to take a minute to remind everyone to make sure you go out and register to vote. We do have a primary coming up on August 2nd and a general election in November, and it is a very important election year, so I hope everyone goes out and remembers to vote this year. And that is all I have, so I guess we could move forward with adjournment.
So moved.
Support?
It's motion and support. Can we please call the roll?
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
I don't know if I can wait 3 minutes to say yes, but yes.
Well, excuse me, Madam Mayor, that,
Meeting adjourns at 7:30.
Madam Mayor, that clock up there is actually 5 minutes slow.
It's 7:30. It's 7:30.
Thank you.